Good evening, folks. So last night we had an interview with a lady named Keisha who claimed to be of Anunnaki descendant and was a test tube baby, basically. And she went through some interesting stuff in the interview. I'm going to share a clip of this now, where she goes into what we can expect to come quite imminently from what she's saying. So I'm just going to play a clip of this here for you. Take a listen to this.
Last time we saw this scenario was 12,000 years ago. So looking at right now, okay, what we have is volcanic activity coupled with earthquakes and everything you're seeing going on. So this is the way it works. The coronal activity off the star is going to magnify and intensify the volcanic eruptions, which couple hand in hand with earthquakes. The poles have already reversed. It's not coming, it's here. The magnetic field is reversing. The weather and jet stream destruction, to put it lightly, cannot be overstated. This will in fact affect the entire planet. And I mean not an if, and, or, but. It is here now. I am trying to do calculations for Yellowstone. Right now, Antarctica had an 8.0 earthquake. The Cascadia subduction zone has an underwater volcano that has been rambling along. And as of yesterday, Alaska had a 7.3. When you triangulate that with the activity going on in Yellowstone, that says pay attention. In the next 4 days, it's about to get bad.
Right. So that's Mark Christopher Lee, by the way. He's the one that did the interview. He invited me to the interview, by the way. He was the one that set this up. So she says in 4 days, something's going to get really bad. Now, I'll play a bit more of this clip in a moment, but I just want to show you something here. So I'll put the natural in ChatGPT, put recent major events over the last month, and it breaks it down here for us on this table. So Central Texas, USA, flash floods, July the 4th to the 7th, 120 plus deaths, many missing. Yellowstone, Mexico, flash floods, July the 8th, 3 deaths, hundreds of homes damaged. New Jersey, flash flood, mid-July, 2 deaths. Pakistan, monsoon and flash floods, late June, July, 108 deaths plus 500 plus injured. Pradesh in India, monsoon floods, 110 deaths made injured. Nigeria, Australia, flooding in Atlantic, flooding in South Africa, Spain and Balkans, wildfire and storms. So it's been a mad month and a bit for natural disasters. And not only that, we have just found out that quite recently, and I'll just play this here, that Noah's Ark.
O2's the only major network that lets everyone roam freely
she says there's 120 of these Noah's Ark.
up to 25 gig.
She goes into a bit more details. I've not heard them before, whether she's telling the truth, I don't know, but it's interesting.
One of the great endeavors of archaeology is figuring out which events described in the Bible actually happened. We know Jesus lived, had a lot of followers, and that he was crucified. That is all historical fact. It's what happened after he was crucified that depends on your faith. But with the emergence of modern astronomy and evolutionary biology, the book of Genesis hasn't held up as well. But hang on, because researchers in Turkey now claim they found indisputable evidence that the story of Noah's Ark was not a cautionary tale about the consequences of forsaking God, but a verifiable historical event. The team at Noah's...
Like, honestly, people, I was really ignorant to religion, like, anti-religion, I'd say. Wasn't into it at all. I still struggle with it at times, but I'm so more in. I've read the Book of Enoch. A follower sent it to me. I'm more open to religion than I've ever been. I do believe in the God, by the way. I'm just not religious. I don't tie it to any religious book. I haven't got the time to go through the 4,200 religions on the planet to come to do. I just haven't got that time. I am seeing a connection with the UFO topic and the spiritual side of it. This is why I looked into the religious side of it. I understand when people say it's not aliens, it's fallen angels, it's demons, it's what are the jinns and stuff like that. And I used to put shut up, and now I'm like, yeah, it could be. it could well be jinns, angels, and like the fallen angels, the Watchers. I didn't even know the Anunnaki were mentioned in the Book of Enoch. That's how ignorant of religion I was. So there is a connection there. I think by finding the answer to, I think potentially the stuff that we see in the sky and stuff like that could be connected to the stuff that's written in these religious books. And what you tend to find is it's mainly agnostic and atheist people that are into the UFOs and aliens, and the religious people aren't into that side of it. They're into the angels and demons. And every now and again, because of my channel, I'll see that crossover, and I thought, you know what, I need to look into this. And the more I've looked into it, there is 100% connection. I think by finding out the answer to that, we're going to find out the answer to this. So yeah, it's fascinating, especially Noah's Ark. I thought this was just a bullshit story, I'll be honest with you, but clearly not.
Ark's scans says this is the final resting place of Noah's Ark. Well, how do they know? Well, they started with the renderings of the ship based on the book of Genesis, in which God gave Noah detailed specifications on how to build the ark. The team claims those scans align almost identically with a rock formation.
Just a quick call out here. So if anybody is so like knowledgeable on Noah's Ark or any of this kind of stuff and would like to come on my channel and have a live chat if you want, or just a pre-recorded chat, and to go through this, because I'd be fascinated to learn more on Noah's Ark and people that can teach me stuff on the religious side of it. I'm all clued up on the UFO and alien side of it, but the religious side of it, I'm behind, guys. I'm trying to catch up as quick as I can, because I think it's connected, like I said. So if anybody watching wants to come up, reach out to me. My email is on the UFOs Around the World brand at gmail.com, or just leave a comment and I'll see it. I try to reply to all my comments on my videos and stuff like that. I try to engage with you, and I want you to come up on the show and stuff like that. This is your platform. This is the public's platform. That's how I want to sell it to people. This isn't, oh, you can't get there. You can't get on this. Anybody can get on this. Anybody can come up here and speak to me, and hopefully it'll grow and grow and grow. We can get more people, more everyday people to come up here and tell us their stories and their research and stuff like that. People that don't really podcast or do any videos or anything like that. They do the research and keep it to themselves. You're the people that I speak to.
In the Disruptor site of eastern Turkey, it's near Mount Ararat.
These are the timbers of the ship. That's what we're looking at.
Which was said in the Bible.
It's amazing.
Joining us now is the lead archaeological researcher of Noah's Ark scans, Andrew Joins, joining us live from Turkey. Andrew, great to have you on. First things first, how long have you and your group been looking for Noah's Ark?
Well, personally, I've been interested in the stories as a child. I first heard about it from Ron Wyatt, who came out to California when I was in middle school. I then came out to see this site that was discovered in 1959 by Captain Durupandar, and we started our research in 2019 on the site.
All right. What makes you think that what you have found is actually Noah's Ark and not some sort of, geological anomaly?
Well, first of all, it was noticed because of the ship's shape. And this is the only shape people saw out here in 1959 that got the world interested, because it's in the mountains of Ararat, just like Genesis 8:4 says in the Bible, where Noah's Ark landed. So we're in the right area. We have a shape of a ship. And then when you look at the size of it, it is exactly 300 Royal Egyptian cubits. That's what Moses wrote in the book of Genesis. And so, either that's a coincidence or we're looking at the right object. And then we started doing scans. And these are non-destructive geophysical scans that can peer below the soil, like radar and ERT. And they're showing a pattern of structure that you would not expect in nature. And then just last year, we did soil testing on the site, and we found out that it has almost 3 times as much organic matter inside the boat formation versus just right outside it.
Yeah, so you did the soil samples, you found potassium in the soil.
You imagine what's like, I'll be honest with you, so someone that was anti-religion, didn't look into religion, I can give a good view on this. People who are agnostic, atheist, and don't think religion's a load of tosh, right? If this is proven to be Noah's Ark, and it's in the place that was said in the Bible, I can tell you now, people like myself are going to sit forward and be like, "Holy shit!" I'll start paying attention, start looking into this, start researching this. And I just hope I've not made a massive mistake in my life of being so anti-religious. I'm not now, by the way. Religious people help me out so much. All kinds of religious people, by the way, not just one certain religion. All sorts of people have reached out to me.
In the soil, which indicates that wood was there, right?
Yeah, that's the possibility. The biggest thing, though, is that because we have a higher organic matter, and if you look at the photos of the site, you will see that this is a ship shape sitting on a mountainside. And so if it's just part of the mountainside, you would expect to see the exact same chemical analysis from inside versus outside. But we're finding that inside is different.
How deep underground is this?
So some of the scans, for example, the radar, we're getting data down to about 30 feet, and it's showing subterranean structures and cavities. So there's a possibility that some of these rooms, or you can call it cages or whatever, they're not filled in yet with mud and material, but they're still open spaces.
You know, if you haven't perused the book of Genesis lately, it's kind of shocking how many like exact measurements and instructions the book of Genesis claims God gave Noah, like 3 decks this big. I mean, is it really that specific? And does that match what you're finding?
Yeah, so, you know, over time, you expect a wooden ship to decay, but we are noticing that there are layers of material just only inside the ship shape. And we're getting actually 3 big, thick layers. And then in between those layers, we're finding a central tunnel, like it could be a central hallway. And then to the sides of those, we're finding these shapes, these right angles that suggest walls and rooms.
You're not the first person to claim to find Noah's Ark. Do you think you are the real one to find Noah's Ark?
Well, we hope so. And, you know, until...
I think they have actually found it, you know. I think there's too many coincidences there. And yeah, I think this is it. I'm going to go out and say it. I think they found it. And I think we're going to find out over the next couple of months when they do some of the archaeological digs or anything around it there, they're going to find something amazing, hopefully, there. And it's going to be big for the religious people. And I can see why. Because it's going to be, what are you going to say now? Noah's Ark's been proven to be true. And if that's the case, we should start looking at the rest of the stories in those books and start thinking that some of those might be real as well. And some of those do sound a bit UFO, alien, out of this world.
Another site is found that matches. We're going to keep pursuing the research here.
All right. Andrew Jones, utterly fascinating. Noah's Ark, right where the Bible said it would be, just a little bit underground. And so far, you say what you're finding matches up. I hope you find more evidence and we can absolutely.
So I've got a bit off topic there, but it's connected because the floods that are happening, the recent Noah's Ark's finding, is timing's everything. Why now are we finding this? Why now are we getting more natural disasters, natural disasters, it seems? And I did ask that question. They put flash flooding has surged globally due to highly saturated atmospheres intensified by climate change and warming global temperatures. So it seems like there's a rise in this. Let me go to this one. This is the floods here that's been happening recently.
Now to the latest on the deadly flooding in Texas's Hill Country. Officials now confirm 107 people have died in Kerr County alone and 134 statewide. According to Governor Greg Abbott, the number of missing people has dropped to 97 as crews work to verify reports and accounts from survivors. Now, accounts of survivors there. Now, the governor returned to Kerrville yesterday to meet with local leaders and survey the extent of the damage left behind by those deadly.
It's going to be a flood. So my granddad used to have spirit. He was a spiritualist, right? My granddad was a spiritualist, and whenever I'd asked him about, he died in 2019. I used to ask him about aliens, and he'd say they're not aliens, they're interdimensional beings and stuff like that. And I was like, whatever. But this was like over a period of years. He had cassette tapes, and these cassette tapes they're like ghost tapes. My dad used to call them. And I remember in the 90s when I was a kid, my dad would borrow these tapes of my granddad, and these would be recorded from like the 60s or 70s or whatever it was when he'd do these spiritual things, whatever. And there'd be ghosts or demonic things on these tapes speaking, and one of them was named Earth. And in that tape, it described a line of planets in like dimensions, and we're the weakest one, and we're about to drop off because we're like basically killing the planet. Now, I've never heard the tape, but my dad and everything has, because I was a young pup at the time. Now, my auntie Karen's got the tapes, and I need to reach out to Karen to see if she can trust me to get the tapes. My granddad did say to me, don't put these tapes anywhere, it can be dangerous and detrimental and stuff like that. But I'm going to get the tape, and I'm going to listen to it, and I'm going to share it. Sorry, Granddad. But I want to share it because it could be the answer to what's going to happen here. And it also connected to this. It's a flood. It's some sort of flood that's going to happen in this century that we're in now. And yeah, it's not going to be good. And it was named Earth, and it had the thing, and this was from the 70s. This was from the 70s, the tape. So this is like a prediction that was told to a prophecy sort of to us. And it's in a tape, in a bunch of tapes, hundreds of tapes at my auntie's, who took the tapes after he died and stuff like that. And I'd go around to my granddad's, and he'd be listening to these tapes, like he'd be listening to random tapes. He'd listen to them. There's one tape where one of the spirits, whatever it was running, and as he was running, he had a gun and everything like that, and he didn't understand why these people weren't shooting at him. And then he turned around and stuff, and he realized he died like 40, 50, 60, 70 seconds ago, whatever. And he just carried on running. His spirit and stuff had just carried on running. And then he realized he's dead. There's another thing. But he'd always say to me, it's interdimensional beings. He'd never say the word aliens. And I used to think, whatever. And now I just wish I could have my time with him. You know, he died in the 90s. He was 90 odd years old. He was born in the 30s. He had a wealth of experience and stuff on the spiritual side of it. And I just didn't tap into it. I was stupid not to tap into it. Well, I'd love to interview him. I'd love to be able to interview him and get him on here. So yeah, we'll try and get that tape, try and get that out there to people. I need to listen to it first.
4th of July flood.
Let's play a bit more of the interview that we did the other day, and the full interview will be in the description. It was put up yesterday.
Okay, so like the last one, you said Noah built these arks. There was what, 200 of them? Was there something like that?
120.
Okay.
He was a king. He had time.
Okay, so what do we do this time? The same thing's going to happen again. Do we build arks, or do we go to the Appalachians? Because I heard that's the place to go.
That is one of a few. Okay, one, depending on where you are. Okay, Appalachians are United States, and it's not just the Appalachians, it's Appalachians and Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
In the UK, find higher ground. It's going to flood. I mean, I think about half of the United States is currently flooding. So it's not, you know, maybe one day, it's here and now.
I have to say, I did see the footage of the Texas flood, and that does not make any sense how that happened so quickly. I've seen that footage live on the video. It's insane.
It's insane.
And New York and New Jersey and Florida, and it is all over. The waters are rising because, and there is, like, it doesn't need to be a religious thing. It really doesn't. I got the atheists covered too. The moon is wobbling. As the sun's activity increases and the earthquakes increase, it's like taking a plate. The tectonic plates are shaking like this. Okay. The Juan de Fuca plate and the United States plate is sitting like this. As we are in slow slippage and the earthquakes continue to shake, that will shake up the magma. That will shake up everything underneath, including the placements of the water tables, causing them to shift, bringing it to the surface. You go to the FEMA website, you see that the moon is wobbling. The planet is changing its axial tilt. It was hit very hard, and this is the planet correcting. The planet needs to do what the planet needs to do. The people on the surface got to figure it out. So this is where I'm going. I'm keeping this as a loose outline because people need to be able to adapt to their environment, find caves, find tunnels. Look underground as your biggest priority. I don't see a single reason why the governments of
I will admit it is a bit doom and gloom, this, folks. Like, don't take it to heart and don't take it serious and don't think, oh right, we need to, something bad's going to happen. Even though she says in 4 days something bad's going to happen. This was yesterday, so we've got 3 days left. Right, but it is doom and gloom, and people have commented on the video and said, look, she dismissed some of the Pleiadian stuff and so on. I said, come up for a chat and tell us about that experiences, or if you think you're half Nordic or something like that. This is the channel for you. If you think you are something special, and I did ask this lady, would she put her body to science so she could like get tested and see if she's got anything special, like genomic and stuff like that, and she said, yeah. So that's a good thing to do, to get some validate that she might tell us the truth. So yeah, she should just say about the, see if I can find that part about the 4 days.
Again, this is a cycle event. It's, we'll talk about, the morality later, but let's.
I just want to ask, if you're saying that the world governments, world leaders are aware, then why would they waste billions of resources fighting wars that are going to be pointless in the end if they're going to grab a bit of land in the Crimea?
That is.
Why would they do that?
It's a good question.
War is very war has its handiness. If you want to change the policies of an entire country,
maybe drones
is getting too hot. It's underground. You get in a bunker, you get deep in a cave, you will survive. Stay above 5,000 feet, below 12,000 feet in altitude. Okay, this is totally survivable. It is not the end of the world. We absolutely can make it. What we need to be concerned about are the logistics in the long term. Okay, being able to grow food, being able to have clean water.
Okay, so I can't find that part, but it is in the interview. What I will say to you is, please just go over to the video. It will be linked at the end of this video, and you can just click on it and watch it. It's an hour long. It is interesting. People have enjoyed it. Who am I to say that it's real or fake, or she's talking, she's nuts and stuff? I don't know, because she's not the only one. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and hundreds just in my inbox that are claiming the same type of thing. Are they all just woo, or have they got something special going on there? I don't know. And it's like channels like mine that are willing to give these people a platform to speak on. People disagree and say you're just promoting people with mental issues. I disagree. She doesn't speak like she's mental. She speaks like she's quite educated on this. She might be well read on it, and it's just the research on this that she's just turned into something that's her story. Fully open to that, the actual possibility, but she could be something credible as well. And she, like I said, there will be a part 2. There will be another interview with this lady. And who knows? In 3 days from now, something terrible may happen, and she may be right. But what I will say is there is a lot of horrible things going on right now as we speak in the United States of America and around the world, involving floods and water, and we've got these things with Noah's Ark now being found, and that's just one of 120, she said. It's insane. It's insane. Like always, let me know in the comments what you think, and please drop a like. And if you're not subscribed, please help the channel out and give us, a cheeky sub. That would be great. I will, if you are interested in coming on and chatting to me, everyone's free to do that. Just drop me a comment, and I'll reply to you as soon as I can. And I'll get you on. Just give me just tell me I'd like to come on about this topic, and we'll discuss further. We'll probably do it by email, and then I'll get you up and we can have an interview similar to what we've had with this lady, and we'll just throw it out there for people, because people just need to have their stories heard. Sometimes you just need someone to sit and listen, and I'm one of those people. I'll sit and listen to you. Doesn't necessarily mean I believe you, but I'll sit and listen to you. So please, share the video if you want. Interact with the channel. I'm trying to build a community here with nice people. Trolls are welcome, but you generally won't get a reply from me. And if you do, it'll be really funny, and it'll be worth clicking the reply that I've given you. But other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Good night. God bless. See you on potentially tomorrow for the live stream of the Booth event.